Give up your identification with the body, mind and intellect. You are the pure self, without any creation, without any thoughts. But when the thoughts are there, they are in me, I am not in them. When confusion arises, confusion is in me, I am not in the confusion. You got a headache? The head is in me, I am not in the head. The Gurudev used to just go on anybody. After the 7th chapter or 9th chapter, if somebody came and asked Gurudev, oh, Swamiji, I've got a problem. The problem is in you, not you in the problem. Please don't identify with it. Therefore, Pashyame Yoga. When you withdraw from the world, your thoughts and your preoccupation, you are in meditation yoga. There the creation also does not exist. And when you transact with the world, see the whole world as Bhagwan's Aishwarya, Vibhuti, manifestation. And how do you interact with the world? With a namaste. You and I are one, and that Narayana who pervades everyone. I see that Narayana in everyone. This is the vision of yoga and Aishwarya. Whether in meditation you are withdrawn from everything, or whether you are interacting with the world. Know that they are in me, I am not in them. With that detached into yoga, and when you are interacting with the world, let this be your Aishwarya. See how beautiful these verses are, you understand them properly. Now, it is because of this that Bhagavan gives the next verse, and which also can be a good upasana. It's an example to illustrate what he has said, but at the same time, it can also be used as a prop for your meditation. Gurudev was such a master of meditation. He's taken us through all these wonderful meditations. Through contemplation, through inquiry, showed us what is yoga and Aishwarya. And through this example, you can see when Bhagavan says, Yatakash.
Yatakash-sthito nityam Vayus sarvatra go mahan Tatha sarvani bhutani Matsthani tyupadharaya
Yatha, just as Mahan Vayuhu, which is Sarvatra Gaha, which is going everywhere, moving everywhere, Nityam at all times, but Akashasthitaha. Just as the mighty wind, even the tornado, the whirlwind, the storm, or the gentle breeze, all the time residing in space, moves around, whether as a gentle breeze or creating havoc as a storm, a hurricane. Last year, 2 years ago, we were hit by one, no? In Chennai. See the havoc it can create? Therefore, that wind that moves everywhere and mighty, constantly rests in space, exists in space. Tatha sarvani bhutani masthani tyupadhara. In the same way, just as the mighty wind moves about in space, and same way in me this mighty cosmos exists. A beautiful metaphor or simile to give an idea that space which accommodates air remains still, unaffected, uncontaminated. So the subtle does not get affected by the gross. The space pervades every bit of the air. But the air exists in space, not the space in the air. And whatever the air does, air gets contaminated, smells, etc. But when the air moves away from there, the space remains untouched. If all that was said is not understood, when you're sitting in the seat of meditation, feel that you are that space in which the storms of your emotions and thoughts are rising. And know that they exist in you. And when the wind settles down, your thoughts settle down, and it's going on Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Even that exists in you. The storm has ended, the divine thoughts have come. Even there. When those thoughts also disappear, you remain like space untouched. Accommodates the good, the divine, the ugly, even the vulgar thoughts. But air can get contaminated, not space. So to understand the point and also give us a upasana, a method of meditation. And I tell you, the moment you sit there thinking you are like space and the storms of your thoughts are rising, they are in me, I am not in them. Even when they are moving and in turmoil, I am still here watching. It's a beautiful meditation. Having said that, but now you said that this whole creation exists in you. So how does this creation come forth? So now one has to give you some data through which you can again be shot out. This is an aircraft. Does it just fly? You give it some ground on which it can rub its wheel. And when it goes flying, if it goes running on the runway, it gets the momentum and it flies. So now again, jnanam is being pointed out here. Bhagavan says,
Sarva bhutani kaunteya Prakritim yanti mamikam Kalpakshaye punastani Kalpadau visrajamyaham Prakritim swamavashtabhya Visrajami punah Bhutagramamimam kritsnam Avasham prakriter vashat.
See, after Bhagavan has explained yoga and Aishwaram, still this will be, but what about this God-created creation? After all, God created this terrible world and put us in this world to suffer. Enjoyment is not Bhagavan giving, that is our. And for even simple mundane language that comes about. Now Bhagavan points out that creation is not something that is a linear, it comes and goes on, or ends and then it's over with. It's a cycle. That kalpa, in the period of time, Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, my dear Arjuna, all beings, Bhutani means beings, elements, universe, cosmos, Sarva Bhutani Prakritim Yanti Mamikam. They all merge into my Prakriti, my nature. Prakriti means my nature. Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpadav Visrajami. So when Kalpakshaye, the dissolution takes place, they all dissolve into me alone. And in the beginning of the Kalpa, the time period for creation, from me only they manifest. I send them forth. That is what I've been trying to tell. Bhagavan creates this world and now he said it. First neither they and me, nor anything. Now he says, I create the world. He said they go back in my nature. Nature means vasanas. Subjectively in you. Now let us see how your creation begins and how your creation ends. Let's see your creation. Kalpakshay, after 2 hours. But let's say after another, half an hour, this creation, when you leave from here, where do you go? To your nature. You are so calm, so peaceful. And when you go back home, the devil has come back. Nature, you go back to your nature only, this way. Now, when you go to sleep, where does your creation go back? Into you only. And when you wake up, which creation starts? What you had already slept with. It's not that you slept last night as a saint and today morning you will get up as a devil. Last night you slept as an engineer and this morning you came up, you just woke up as a doctor. According, action by action, thought by thought, whatever vasanas you have developed, your nature, that only comes up with all. There's little children, especially naughty little 5-year-old boys, grandchildren. Dad always comes back home, he's already gone to sleep. He thinks what an angel. And she keeps complaining how tired she is. Because when he's sleeping, he's an angel. But the moment he gets up, nature. Same way in total creation also, our total vasanas. That goes to make the Prakriti. According to our total vasanas is creation. See, today there's so much anti-smoking campaign. Naturally, cigarette production has reduced and we are having many places, whether you go to a cafe, whether you go to the aircraft, it is smoke-free aircraft. We've got a world today which is cigarette smoke, and eventually the companies will not make money until they find some other thing to make people addicted. Cigarettes will be wiped out. But cigarettes are there because people still want it. When we don't want it, it will not exist. Remember, some years ago, some of the Indian film songs started getting a little bit suggestive. And every car, I said, Swamiji, what will happen to the youngsters these days? Every car, they played, Swamiji, see what type of songs are going on. I said, why these songs will not go away? Because all of you are buying the CDs to make me listen to that song. If you stop buying those CDs, the market for those CDs will not be there, the song will not be popular, the movie will not be hit. You don't. Everybody then wanted to go and see the movie, then how that song was picturized. And they're telling me also, Swamiji, should I show you the picture? I said, the songs sound this to me, and you want to show me the picture. But Swamiji should see what nowadays the youngsters are, what will happen to the youngsters. The more you will propagate it, the more it is going to be created. Understand, your creation is the manifestation of your vasanas and total creation. Today you say, what is this God created world? God did not create according to Prakriti. Prakriti means all our Prakriti, the whole universe manifests. So if it is bad, don't blame God. Check yourself. The little bad must be in you. So this whole creation comes. And then in the beginning of creation, I sent forth. How? Prakritim swamavishtabhya. I, having animated here means my sheer presence. When you say, without the sun, nothing can be energized in the world. But the sun does not do anything. The sun just expresses itself as light and heat, because sun is light and heat. But without that light and heat falling on the waters, the evaporation is not possible. But water evaporates, wood burns according to its nature. The sun is heat and light. The sun doesn't do anything to be heat and light. But when the sun rays fall on dry wood, it can burn. And when it falls on water, it creates clouds. Both have been created by whom? The fire that burns the forest also is created by the sun. It's attributed to the sun. But did the sun do anything? Sun is just itself. But without the sun, the forest cannot burn, nor the clouds come and put off the fire. Just think about the wonder of creation. The shadow is from you, yet you are not the creator of the shadow. And can you say the shadow came from anywhere else? So that way the shadow came from you only. Yet you are not the one who is bound with it. Therefore, animating my own Prakriti, punah, again and again and again, Bhagavan says, I bring forth all the beings. And all of them, avasham prakrite vashat. All of them according to their nature, forced by their nature, they come into being. Which means all of us are here because of our vasanas. So I bring by the vasha, by the people born of their own nature. So, action by action, thought by thought, over lifetimes, what vasanas we create, accordingly we get our birth. According is the universe to fulfill our vasanas. Thus, in this way the whole world is created. Bhagavan, we do little, we create vasanas, karma bandhan, and for that we have to take so many births and suffer through creation. You create this whole world and what, no bandhan for you? It's from the third chapter onwards I have been telling you. Third chapter onwards I have been telling you. Action does not bind. It is your ego that I am the doer, and your attachment to the fruit, your selfish desire and attachment, which is the cause of your bondage, which creates more vasanas, and then you are the creator of the vasanas, but you only come under the influence of the vasanas. You can't think otherwise.